Numb feet? Fix this now. Hello everyone. Stop scrolling. This message can change your life. Hope you all are doing well. This video is inspired by the research and public talks of Dr. Barbara O'Neill. Imagine waking up one morning and realizing your feet feel distant, like they belong to someone else. No sharp pain, no dramatic injury, just a quiet numbness that slowly creeps in after 60. Many people accept this as aging, but the body is rarely that passive. Numb feet are often a whisper from your nerves, and whispers deserve attention. Blood is the language nerves understand, and this idea changes how we think about numbness after 60. Nerves are not passive cables running through the body. They are living, breathing tissues that depend on a constant stream of oxygen, glucose, minerals, and signaling molecules. That stream is blood. When blood flow is rich and dynamic, nerves remain alert, responsive, and resilient. When circulation slows, nerves begin to lose clarity, like a city experiencing rolling blackouts. The smallest blood vessels, called capillaries, are especially important because they sit right next to nerve fibers, delivering microscopic packets of life with every heartbeat. Over time, these vessels can stiffen, narrow, or become inflamed due to aging, poor diet, chronic stress, high blood sugar, or lack of movement. The result is not dramatic at first. It is subtle, a slight tingling, a muted sensation, a feeling that the ground is farther away than it used to be. From a biological perspective, nerves are metabolically hungry. They require continuous energy to transmit electrical signals, maintain their membranes, and repair daily wear and tear. Blood flow is the supply chain that keeps this system operational. When that supply chain weakens, nerves enter a state of quiet deprivation. They do not die instantly. They fade. This fading is often misinterpreted as irreversible aging, but it is more accurately a sign of vascular neglect. The vascular system and nervous system are intertwined in a delicate partnership, and when one falters, the other reflects it. Scientific research shows that improving circulation can change nerve function. When vessels dilate, when blood viscosity improves, when oxygen delivery increases, nerves regain their metabolic rhythm. This is why conditions that improve vascular health, balanced nutrition, controlled blood sugar, anti-inflammatory habits, and physical activity are consistently associated with better nerve sensation. The body is not static, it is adaptive. Blood vessels can remodel themselves, and nerves can rewire and regenerate when the environment becomes supportive. In this sense, restoring blood flow is not just a mechanical fix. It is a biological invitation for nerves to remember how to feel, how to signal, how to connect the body to the world beneath it. Like restoring electricity to a dimmed city so that lights begin to flicker back on, street by street, signal by signal, heartbeat by heartbeat, quietly, persistently, and with remarkable intelligence. As long as the supply lines are reopened and sustained, allowing life to circulate back into tissues that were never truly gone, but simply waiting for nourishment and movement to return. Movement is not exercise, it is communication, and the body listens closely to every signal sent through motion. When muscles contract, even gently, they compress nearby blood vessels and push blood forward like a second heart working in the limbs. This rhythmic pumping is not just mechanical. It is biological messaging that tells vessels to stay flexible, tells nerves to stay awake, and tells tissues that they are still needed. In contrast, long periods of sitting create silence in this system. Blood pools, vessels become less responsive, and nerves receive fewer resources. Over years, this silence accumulates, and the brain interprets fading sensory input as a natural part of aging, even though it is often the result of disuse rather than destiny. From an evolutionary perspective, The human body was designed for constant, low-level movement, walking, shifting, reaching, squatting. These small actions maintained circulation and nerve vitality across a lifetime. Modern life, however, compresses movement into brief, intense sessions or removes it entirely. When movement disappears, circulation becomes sluggish and nerves lose the stimulation that keeps their networks active. Sensory nerves, especially in the feet, depend on both blood flow and mechanical feedback from walking and pressure. Each step activates receptors, reinforcing neural pathways in the spinal cord and brain. Without that input, the nervous system begins to down-regulate those pathways, as if turning down the volume on a speaker that is no longer receiving a signal. Scientific studies consistently show that even moderate activity can improve endothelial function, the ability of blood vessels to expand and contract. Walking increases nitric oxide production, a molecule that relaxes blood vessel walls and enhances microcirculation. Stretching reduces local compression on nerves and vessels, allowing blood to reach tissues that may have been starved. Strengthening muscles around joints improves vascular support and stabilizes movement patterns, reducing chronic inflammation that can impair nerve health. Movement also improves glucose uptake by muscles, lowering blood sugar spikes that can damage tiny blood vessels supplying nerves. In this sense, every step is a biological conversation. Every stretch, a gentle reminder to the vascular and nervous systems that they are still part of an active, adaptive organism. Movement does not need to be dramatic to be meaningful. Consistent, gentle motion throughout the day acts like a steady stream of messages that keep circulation alive, keep nerves engaged, and keep the dialogue between body and brain ongoing, subtle, and deeply intelligent, reinforcing the idea that sensation is not lost in a single moment, but gradually quieted by inactivity, and gradually restored when motion returns, and the body is once again invited into the continuous language of movement and blood flow. Healing is a biological possibility, not a miracle, and this perspective shifts the entire narrative around numb feet and neuropathy after 60. The human body is not a static machine that only declines. It is a dynamic system constantly repairing, adapting, and recalibrating itself. Nerves, once thought to be incapable of meaningful recovery, are now known to possess remarkable plasticity. They can regenerate fibers, strengthen existing connections, and restore signaling when the environment becomes supportive. Blood vessels, too, are living structures that respond to habits, chemistry, and movement. When circulation improves, tissues receive oxygen and nutrients that trigger repair pathways at the cellular level, quietly rebuilding what seemed lost. At the microscopic scale, healing begins with blood. Red blood cells deliver oxygen that fuels mitochondrial activity inside nerve cells. Glucose provides energy, while amino acids and micronutrients supply the raw materials for rebuilding nerve membranes and synapses. When blood sugar is chronically high, tiny vessels stiffen and narrow, and nerves become inflamed and fragile. When blood sugar stabilizes, inflammation decreases, vessels relax, and nerves regain metabolic stability. This is why lifestyle factors such as diet, sleep, stress regulation, and gentle activity have profound neurological consequences, even when they appear simple on the surface. The nervous system also responds to rhythm and consistency. Sleep deepens the brain's repair processes, allowing growth factors to circulate and cellular waste to clear. Hydration influences blood viscosity, determining how easily blood can travel through the smallest capillaries. Anti-inflammatory foods reduce oxidative stress that damages both vessels and nerves. These are not dramatic interventions. They are quiet biological levers that tilt the internal environment toward repair rather than degeneration. Scientific curiosity reveals that the body is guided by feedback loops. When tissues sense adequate blood flow, they upregulate repair genes, increase mitochondrial density, and strengthen structural proteins. When nerves receive repeated sensory input, they reinforce pathways in the brain, sharpening perception. Healing, therefore, is not a single event, but a continuous dialogue between cells, circulation, and behavior. In this light, restoring nerve sensation is not about chasing a miracle cure, but about creating conditions where the body's inherent intelligence can express itself. Every improvement in circulation, every reduction in inflammation, every consistent habit sends a signal that the environment is safe for regeneration, allowing nerves and vessels to slowly reclaim their role in perception, balance, and connection, reminding the body that even after decades, renewal remains encoded in its biology and accessible through deliberate, compassionate care.